Hello, my name is Yutaka Watanabe, a tax accountant. Welcome to the channel, Tax Accountant Nabe solves your money problems. Today, I'd like to talk about what is a place of residence for 1 year or more. At first glance, this may seem like a very niche topic, but in fact, it is an extremely important tax concept that could have a major impact on your life, especially your money. The theme is the 1 year rule, or in other words, the concept of a place of residence for tax purpose. This is not simply a matter of counting calendar days. It is an extremely important boundary line that determines how you are viewed by the tax system. So, let's dive straight into the core of the topic. Do you know the exact difference between an address and a place of residence for tax purpose? In everyday conversation, we tend to use both words in almost the same way, as if they both simply mean the place where someone lives. But in the extremely strict world of tax law, there is a huge difference between the two. When determining where you currently live, the tax office makes its judgment based on this clear rule. So, what exactly is a place of residence? Let us take a closer look here. Let us briefly look at the actual wording used in the law. Under the Income Tax Act, a place of residence is defined as a place where a person resides continuously for a considerable period of time. Yes, that sounds a little stiff, but the key word you absolutely need to remember here are a considerable period of time and continuously. For example, a vacation home you visit only on weekends to refresh yourself, or a hotel where you stay for just a few nights does not count, even if it cannot be called your complete base of life. The important point is continuity. Whether you are spending a certain uninterrupted period of time there. This is what the Income Tax Act examines very strictly. When we place these two terms side by side, the decisive difference becomes very clear. An address is a place, a high degree of permanence. It is the solid foundation at the very center of your daily life. By contrast, a place of residence is legally considered to have less permanence than an address. In other words, you do not need to intend to live there for the rest of your life. In fact, you do not even need to have moved your resident registration there. Even without strong performance, what matters is whether there is the fact of continuous presence. Depending on how this balance between permanence and continuity is judged, your status can change completely. Now, this is no exaggeration. This is the biggest highlight of today's topic. The decisive point is the number one. Yes, 1 year or more. This 1 year period becomes a legal borderline that cannot be moved. No matter what personal circumstances you may have. For tax purpose, this extremely clear standard of 1 year or more determines whether your place of stay is merely temporary or is officially recognized as a proper place of residence. It is truly the magic number that can affect everything. There is actually a very interesting point here. The rather rigid legal terminology we have discussed so far is directly connected to your real life. Typical examples are overseas assignments and long-term business trip. Suppose you are a business person working across the world and you end up staying continuously in the same overseas location for 1 year or more. From that moment, that place can officially be recognized as your place of residence for tax purposes. For expatriates and nomad workers who are flying around the world and listening to this right now, your current situation may fit this scenario exactly. Now, let us see how this develops logically, like a row of dominoes, falling one after another. If you do not have a place of residence in Japan for 1 year or more, as I have explained, what happens? The answer is that you will automatically be treated as a non-resident for tax purposes. It does not matter whether you own a home in Japan or whether your nationality is Japanese. Emotional ties like that are completely irrelevant. The single physical fact that you do not have a place of residence in Japan for 1 year or more possibly moves you into a completely different category, non-resident. And here is the shocking fact I absolutely want to tell you today. Once this category changes, the scope of taxation changes dramatically from the very foundation. For residents and non-residents, the scope within which the Japanese tax office can tax you is completely different. From the moment you are treated as a non-resident, the tax rules you must follow in Japan, the technology method and the type of income subject to taxation can all change dramatically. Whether or not you satisfy the definition of a place of residence for just 1 year, this single classification can ultimately have an enormous impact on the amount of money left in your hands. Now, finally, please take some time to carefully reflect on your current situation. Is your present lifestyle triggering this 1 year rule? Your tax status depends on just one definition. Whether there is a place where you have stayed continuously for 1 year or more, even if that place does not have the same degree of permanence as an address. A long-term business trip starting next month, or an overseas assignment currently in progress. Will it end as merely a stay, or is it about to become a place of residence for tax purposes? Please take this opportunity to compare it seriously with your future life plan. Today, I talk about the topic, what is a place of residence for 1 year or more? For more information about international tax matters, please visit the website of Yutaka Watanabe, Tax Accountant Office. I will continue sharing content related to money. So please subscribe to the channel. Tax Accountant Nabe solves your money problems.